It is the last day of August, which is National Breastfeeding Awareness Month, as well as rounding off Black Breastfeeding Week. So if you clicked on this video, surely you're curious about breastfeeding, or you know a little bit, or you want to learn more. I'm here today to talk about my breastfeeding journey, as well as do a quick little Q&A. So I have been breastfeeding for 8 months today. It's not always easy at all, but it is always rewarding. I do feel like it's the best decision that I've made so far as a mother, even though I know I have so much more time to go as my daughter grows and gets bigger and gets stronger and learns more. Every day I'm learning more as well, not just about breastfeeding, but about being a mother. Like I said, I've been breastfeeding for 8 months now, and my goal is 16 months. So if I can just do what I just did one more time, I'll be done. And breastfeeding is so rewarding to me because I can look at my daughter and I can say, wow, I did that. I can look at how much weight she's gaining and how smart she's getting and how strong she's getting, and I can say I contributed to that using nothing but my own body. At the same time, breastfeeding does have its downsides, such as, you feel like your body doesn't belong to you anymore. After a year being pregnant, you can't wait to get your body back, but then you have the baby attached to your breast and you feel like, my body's never gonna belong to me again. But I honestly believe that as long as you stick to it and you are confident that you're doing what's best for your child, then breastfeeding can be a successful and rewarding thing for you. I put out a call to action kind of on my Facebook and on my Instagram, and I let everybody know that I was going to be making this video and to send me questions that they were curious about when it comes to breastfeeding. And I'm just going to answer not a few of those questions, actually every question that I was sent. I wanted to answer it because I don't want to leave anyone out. Somebody asked me what my favorite and least favorite things are about breastfeeding. My favorite thing about breastfeeding, boobs literally solve everything. My daughter is getting older now. She's learning how to pull herself up and stand and stuff like that, which means that she's having a lot of falls and she's bumping her head on a lot of stuff. She can hurt herself, and as soon as I pick her up and put her on the boob, she's fine. Boobs solve everything. It doesn't matter what she's crying about, what she's upset about. I can put her on the boob and she feels better. So that's one of my favorite things about breastfeeding, is how the boob is like her best friend, kind of. Another one of my favorite things about breastfeeding is the bond that I'm able to build with my daughter. Another one of my favorite things about breastfeeding is the fact that it is free. 100% completely and totally free. I don't get WIC for these boobs. I was born with these boobs, so I'm gonna use them. It also saves me a lot of time, and it's so convenient. Like when I'm in bed, when she wakes up and she's hungry, I don't even have to wake up. I can just kind of turn over on this side and just kind of pop it in there, and everybody go back to sleep. We're all good. My least favorite thing about breastfeeding, I would have to say it's night nursing. Like I said, after a while, you kind of want your body back. And before I got pregnant, I used to sleep on my stomach. I don't know when I'm going to be able to sleep on my stomach again. Oh, how I miss it. I have to sleep on my side all the time now because the baby's either right here on this side or she's right here on this side, and I always got to be available to just kind of pop it in her mouth. Another thing that I would say is my least favorite thing about breastfeeding is when she wants to nurse while I'm doing something. When you're washing the dishes or when you're trying to enjoy time with the grown-ups or anything like that, but she wants to be on the boob, baby comes first. So you got to put her up there on the boob.
Is it true that breastfed babies never get sick?
Hell no. That is not true. Maybe they get sick less than other babies. Honestly, I don't know what the statistics are about that, but breastfed babies get sick. Everybody gets sick at some point. Milan's nose is snotty right now.
Why do we need a Black Breastfeeding Week?
Girl, really?
Has anyone ever confronted you about breastfeeding in public?
No. Girl, no. Absolutely not.
What is the most annoying thing about breastfeeding?
The most annoying thing about breastfeeding is other people's opinions about breastfeeding. Honestly, the whole cover up in public thing, and the misinformation that surrounds breastfeeding. And men have the most to say about women breastfeeding, and they don't have a titty to contribute to a baby's diet. So mind your business. If you don't like it, you can look the other way. Mind your business.
What is the best pump to order?
Oh, okay. So this is a good question. Typically, most women, you will get a free pump through your health insurance. Check on that if you're an expectant mom. Check on getting a pump through your health insurance. Typically, they give you a free double electric pump. However, I didn't get that because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I was given a pump from a close family friend, and the kind of pump that I have is a Medela pump in style. That's the only pump I've ever used, so I can't really speak on what's the best pump. If I were you, I would look online and check out reviews and things like that. But I will say that I love my Medela pump. It's awesome. I gave birth on December 31st. Here it is August 31st, and that pump is still pumping. Of course, do your research on how you're supposed to replace your pump parts and clean and sanitize them and things like that. And whatever pump that you get, it should last you a long time as well.
Why did you choose to breastfeed?
Honestly, breastfeeding was my first option. I never really thought about doing anything other than breastfeeding because it just came naturally. Like, it's your first instinct. When you first give birth, and then they lay your baby on your chest, that's the first thing they go for. You know, they go directly, they kind of do that little crawl up to your chest. So I chose to breastfeed just because it's free. It's free and it's natural. And I never really considered formula feeding.
What does your fiance think about breastfeeding?
What does he think? I don't know. I never really asked him. Well, when I was pregnant, I did talk to him and I told him that, you know, when we give birth, I want to breastfeed, and he was all for it. But, I mean, he's never really complained. Like, if you know Milan's father, then you know he's a man of not many words at all. But if he had a problem with it, then he would let me know. So, I think that he thinks it's cool. I don't know.
Will my boobs feel different now that they're exclusively for my baby and not for my man?
That's a funny question. First of all, your boobs are for you. The feeling will go back to normal. They're not going to feel engorged all the time. You're probably thinking, oh, my boobs are going to be huge and filled with milk all the time. But as you can see, I went back to my little B cups, and I'm still feeding my baby just as much, you know? So your boobs will go back to normal. They just serve a different purpose now that you're a nursing mom.
What does it feel like when mature milk comes in a few days after giving birth?
Bruh. Feels like rocks. Like 2 big rocks sitting on your chest. But it goes away.
How can you avoid an oversupply and mastitis?
A lot of women give themselves an oversupply by accident by pumping too early after they deliver their baby. There's really no reason to be pumping as soon as you deliver, unless you have a child in a NICU unit or something like that. But in order to avoid having an oversupply, nursing on demand, that's what you should be doing anyway. Once you get to the point when you are pumping, pump every 2 to 3 hours, and just make sure that you're moving that milk regularly so that you're not getting all backed up and creating those clogged ducts. And talk to a lactation consultant, okay? Because I am not one. I'm not one of those. I'm just a mom that has breastfed and is breastfeeding now.
What was your first experience breastfeeding in public? Were you nervous? Did people look? And were you afraid?
My first experience breastfeeding in public, I was at TJ Maxx with my mom, Milan's grandma, and Milan was maybe like 2 or 3 months old. What you say? Was I nervous? Hell no. No, my baby was hungry and my baby needed to eat. And I had on like a button-down shirt. I still remember the shirt I had on because I took a picture too. I had on a button-down shirt and I just kind of unbuttoned it and kind of slid the undershirt to the side and I popped my baby on there and I was sitting down because, you know, TJ Maxx, they got like a little home goods section. So I sat down over there in a chair and I was minding my business and I was feeding my baby. Did people look? Yeah, they looked. So, were you afraid? No, I was not afraid. I was not nervous. I wasn't afraid. I didn't have a reason to be. Breastfeeding is natural. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And only thing I was afraid of is if somebody did say something to me, what kind of charge I would catch when I went off on them. Was it going to be disorderly conduct or disturbing the peace?
How do you get over the nervousness and the taboo feeling of feeding in public, including church?
They'll be alright. Honestly, like, now, since you mentioned church, I will say that there are certain places where I do step aside. Like, I, will step out just because I'll say to be respectful, but there's nothing disrespectful about what you're doing. I will step aside just because I don't want to hear nobody's mouth. So, in church, I have removed myself from the sanctuary and just stepped outside and nursed her. You just got to keep reminding yourself that there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. You're feeding your child, and you have to have that confidence that if somebody steps to you, you have to know what it is that you're going to say. Now, if you're in church, you have to amend your vocabulary a little bit when you're defending yourself, but still defend yourself. If you're in church and you don't want to miss that word, but that baby needs feeding, you feed that baby right there in church in the midst of the word, okay? I promise you, Jesus do not mind. He is not going to be mad at you. Now, those same people that would have a problem with you feeding your child in public are the same ones that if you sat there and let your child cry out in hunger because you were trying to cater to their needs, they would judge you for being a poor mother.
How do you stay strong with your commitment to breastfeeding when family members don't understand or they push formula?
You know what's best for your baby. Period. Keep telling yourself that and keep telling everybody who has something to say about you breastfeeding that. You know what's best for your baby. Tell them when they have a baby, they can do what they want. But you gonna do what you want with yours, okay?
How do you stay encouraged during the first 2 to 3 weeks of breastfeeding?
So the first 2 to 3 weeks is really hard because that is your first bout of cluster feeding and the first little growth spurt that the baby goes through. Remember that cluster feeding is normal and the baby is going to be attached to you, so attach yourself to your baby, okay? Let your family and your friends wait on you hand and foot, which they're supposed to be doing anyway as you recover from childbirth. First 2 to 3 weeks, you should still be laying in bed anyway, and you should still be healing from bringing life into this world. Take your time, be attached to your baby, breastfeed, okay? Let that baby be attached to you. Lay in bed with your snacks. Let somebody cook for you. Let somebody bring you meals. Order Chinese. Do whatever it is, but do not leave that bed. Watch Netflix. Record some stuff on the DVR. It's so many episodes of Family Guy that you can watch. Watch from the beginning to the last episode of Family Guy. Do not get up out of that bed.
Explain how the breastfeeding journey is between the mom and the baby, and it should be cut off when both parties are ready and not when the family wants you to.
Okay, that's not a question. But yes, you got it. Breastfeeding is a special thing. It's between, like you said, the mom and the baby. It doesn't have nothing to do with the baby daddy. It don't have nothing to do with the grandma or the granddaddy or the uncle or the auntie or none of the cousins, not even any of the older siblings. It's between the mom and the baby. Most women, when they begin breastfeeding, they set a goal and they want to reach that goal. Like I said, my goal is 16 months with Milan. And honestly, if I feel like I'm ready to stop before that, I'm going to stop before that. If I want to go a little bit longer until she's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, which I'm probably not. But if I want to, I will, because that's my choice as a mother, and that is what I want for my daughter. If you go to the villages of Uganda and Wakanda in Siberia, I bet you it's a 6-year-old child right now somewhere nursing, because it's natural. And it's the normal thing to do. Only in America is the normal weaning age 1 year. It's between you and your child. So when your baby is showing interest in weaning, or when you as the mother, you've had enough and you want to reclaim your titties, you do that. But don't let anybody pressure you to stop, to end your breastfeeding journey before you're ready. Alright, well, that's it for all the questions that were submitted to me through Facebook and Instagram. If you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. Send me a DM or whatever, a message, an email, a text, call me, beat me, whatever it is that you got to do to reach me. I am glad to help. I encourage every expectant mom to breastfeed. Even if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to me, I definitely encourage you to reach out to a lactation consultant. Join the Facebook group Breastfeeding for Black Women. That group has helped me out so much. With that being said, happy Black Breastfeeding Week. Happy National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. I hope that I was able to answer some questions and educate y'all a little bit. And stay tuned for more videos, more tutorials, more family vlogs. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope that you liked it. If you did, don't be afraid to press the like button and subscribe and check me out some more, okay? Thank you guys.